Most of my travels are short stays. Most of the time I try to take something that is carry-on size to where I don't have to check baggage. I like to carry carry-on stuff, whether it's a backpack, carry-on size to where I could put it in the overhead. That's what I want to go over in this video with the perspective of being a techie, photographer, videographer, and entrepreneur. All that stuff usually is wrapped up somehow into one trip. Before we get into today's content, I want to talk about MusicBed. That's where I get all my music from with BaneTech and also my professional company, Evergreen Creative Company. To me, they offer the highest quality music that you can get for your work. So if you're interested in creating content, I guarantee that you will love what MusicBed has to offer. If you're interested, there's a link below and you can save some money when you sign up. So for context, again, I'm a content creator, photographer, videographer, and entrepreneur. While I also like to try to live a minimal lifestyle, I also have just as much value in being prepared. That's a tough balance. I travel for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes it's for BaneTech, sometimes it's for business, sometimes it's for pleasure, or a mix of it all. Either way, as you can imagine, I have a lot of things to consider when I travel. Regardless of what it is, I definitely don't want to overpack. The kind of setup that I want to talk about for this video is the carry-on size. Check bags, we'll leave that just be for another time, because that's just a whole other rabbit trail that we could go down. Regardless of the kind of trip that we're on, my carry-on stuff that I'm going to carry is going to include my laptop, camera or two, sometimes an iPad. I don't know, are you like me? I bring an iPad and then I just never end up using it. I always have these situations in my head that I'm gonna use this iPad to watch movies or consume content in a bigger screen, be entertained while I'm in the airport or on an air flight. I tend to not use an iPad as much as I thought I would. What I travel with and what I use on an everyday basis really doesn't change too much. I've got a camera, my laptop, charging accessories, along with a tech pouch that's gonna have SD cards, some other kind of data connection kind of stuff. That's usually what I'm carrying around. It actually kind of blows my mind a little bit. And wow, I've got a lot of expensive stuff that I carry on a regular basis. Laptop, like a Q2, AirPods Max, AirPods Pro, laptop. So yeah, it's kind of concerning, isn't it? Anyways, that's what I have with me every day, as well as when I travel. So that's pretty much what I'm going to carry with me onto the airplane. The way that I pack for my tech and electronics really just kind of depends on how I plan to be on the flight. If I want easy access to my laptop, easy access to AirPods, my entertainment kind of devices, I usually don't use a laptop on a plane just because when I'm in coach, for example, just the angle of the screen isn't really that friendly for, getting work done. So I normally don't even do that. And actually, as of late, I really just use my phone for music or podcasts, maybe some mobile games, or I'm using the airplane's entertainment on board. So if my luggage has a compartment to where I can put my laptop in, put it above me in the overhead container, I am fine with that. As long as I can get to whatever's in my backpack that's underneath the seat in front of me, I'm a happy camper. I can make a really long flight, just be fine with that kind of stuff. I'm a minimalist at heart, but there's a few things that I just end up having a ton of, which is shoes, hats, and bags. Between those things, I have a plethora of, but once I find something that I really like, that's what I just end up going back to over and over again. The Level8 Backpack is actually one that I have grown to really like. It's taken over as my everyday bag at this point, and there's a few reasons why. I can fit everything that I need. It's very comfortable, even though that this bag is very heavy. This laptop and the other accessories, the other gear that I have with me on a regular basis just really weighs a lot. The straps, the back padding, and the cushions have enough airways and padding that makes this thing super comfortable. Other important features to me include meaning that it's water resistant, it's going to protect the stuff that's inside of the bag. It's made of durable materials. The padding is super important, again, not just for your back and comfort, but also protecting the stuff that's inside, so it's nice, safe, and secure. I've also got to have plenty of pockets, and not necessarily to fit all kinds of stuff. I just like to stay organized. I like to be able to go to something and grab it and know that it's going to be there. So a specific spot for my laptop, its chargers, cables, data, so on and so forth. I like to have dedicated places for those items. That's going to be my extra phone, headphones, wallet, so on and so forth. And then lastly, I like to have an easy way to attach this to a luggage handle. This slides on relatively easy. Now again, when this thing is full and loaded, it's heavy. So I still have a decent fine time to put that onto the handles of my carry-on luggage. And it's got 2 sections to hold it together and hold it in place. I love that part. If you only have that one strap, it just feels like it's just easy to come off, or it just kind of moves around too much. Which kind of segues into my next couple pieces that I want to talk about. And I'm not going to get into like the packing of clothing, toiletries, and those kind of essentials. Just know that when you're packing for carry-on and that's all you're going for, you're not going to be staying for a long time. You're going to have a few changes of clothes. All that's going to fit fine. But I want to also highlight the fact that you can get packing cubes, and that's something that I've recently started to adopt more and more as I travel. I love being able to keep things compartmentalized and separated and organized. It's, again, I'm going back to saying that I'm a minimalist. I try to be, at least. That's the lifestyle that I enjoy and get a lot of fulfillment from. But anyways, like I have the same black shirts. I've got like 5 to 7 of the same kind of shirts. I've got a few of the same kind of pants, underwear, socks. So as you can imagine, I need to keep that stuff separate from what's clean and what's dirty. When I travel, I always have a separate charging bundle in my carry-on bag, and then also my backpack. I like to keep all my backpack stuff with the backpack, and then all the stuff that I'm going to use at nighttime to charge that way. And I also, like, if one thing happens to another bag, I'm not up the creek as far as charging capabilities go. Level 8 offers some fantastic options for you. So when you're shopping or if you're looking around for something, these are the things that I consider when I want to have a certain kind of carry-on luggage. What I'm determining is what bag am I putting under my seat and what bag am I putting on the overhead. I want ease of access to all my electronics, again, such as my headphones, laptop, iPad, whatever I want to use. I want ease of access to get to that. So is that going to fit in the backpack, or do I want to have it with me but in the overhead? There's times where you plan to carry on everything to the plane, but then there's situations that come up that you might have to actually check a bag. You're going to want to make sure that that bag is going to make it through the airport jungle. And I mean, there's the potential of it getting thrown somewhere, dropped, banged around, rubbed up against. It's a rough atmosphere out there for luggage, right? So you want to make sure that if you have to, even if you plan to carry it on and you're required to actually check that bag, that thing's going to protect everything that's inside of it. The other thing that I look for is it a good footrest, because when you're at an airport, you're kicking back, you want to put your feet up, that's pretty comfortable, and I love to be able to actually do that. I've had Level 8 luggage is the perfect footrest. There's a couple luggage sets that I want to talk about that Level 8 offers. One is the Roadrunner and the other is the Gibraltar. They are great in their own ways. So I want to kind of talk about the differences. So you might want to get both, but you might want to just settle on one of them and which one is going to suit your needs better. The Roadrunner, what I love about it is that it's got a separate compartment for laptops, iPads, the electronics that you want simple and easy access to. If you don't have TSA pre-check, a lot of times you got to take out the laptop or iPads, put them out onto the belt. You got to take all that stuff out, and it just becomes kind of a pain. So if you're trying to fumble through a backpack or fumble through whatever bag that you got, it's just not a fun experience. So when you have that ease of access to be able to just open that up, take it out, slide it back in and out whenever it's ready, it makes life so much easier. Also, you can securely lock it. That's a huge thing too. So if you want to have that kind of valuable locked up to where you have your own PIN code, and only TSA can use their key to get in, that gives me a lot of peace of mind that my stuff is safe and secure. These backpacks, the zippers, on the edges of them, like where the fastener is, you can slip a lock through that. So you could lock this up if you needed to, or a backpack. Once you're through security though, maybe you got a long layover or you're waiting for your ride. You want to be able to access your laptop or iPad. It's, again, just easy to do that. Pop it on open and you're good to go. Prop your feet up. Good times. The Roadrunner is made of a durable hard shell, not like aluminum like the Gibraltar, but you still got a lot of protection with that. The Gibraltar is made of aluminum and it's a very hard shell. It's the kind of suitcase that I've always wanted. I mean, sense of security wise, goodness gracious, the thing's a tank. It's going to be able to take a beating and whatever is inside is going to be safe. I love the design. It's fantastic. That's the biggest thing about it, is like it's super well made. You can't get too much better than that. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have that separate compartment for laptops or iPads. That's the only knock on it that I'm going to give it. Everything else is just fantastic. And it really just kind of boils down to your preferences. Both bags are fantastic in their own ways, and they both offer some really cool features, such as you get a lifetime warranty. That's awesome in itself. The wheels are smooth and quiet. You're not going to have those things banging around making a bunch of racket. You've got TSA approved locks, so no problems with security, and that's always amazing. It's weather resistant, and the protective shells will keep your stuff safe and sound. The bottom line is that it really just depends on what kind of stuff you want to have access to. If you need it to be relatively quick and easy to get to, or if you're okay with stowing it away, getting it checked, or anything like that. I mean, if you're rolling this thing around the airport, cities, it's getting put in and out of trunks, all kinds of places, you're gonna wanna make sure that your stuff is safe. Like I said, I carry around some expensive stuff, and I need to know that it's going to be taken care of, whether it's me handling it or someone else. I hope that you found that this video is helpful to you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below what kind of travel that you like to do, what are the kind of styles or features that you look for in your luggage concerning what kind of tech you're going to bring with you. Until then, I'll see you next video.